October the 22nd, 2025. Guys, Tropical Storm Melissa looks like it's about to become a monster, a Category 4. And now, instead of turning due north and going over the tip of Cuba here, the eastern tip, this thing is now going to move further into the northwestern Caribbean and possibly come across Cuba in this area and South Florida, guys. Again, right now we're only at 50 miles per hour, west-northwest at 2 miles per hour. That's in this direction. But when we get right here, and it looks like this would be Thursday, 2 a.m., then Friday here, going from a Cat 1 to a Cat 3 to a Cat 4, getting somewhere in this area and turning north. So this changes everything. It changes every watch and warning that we've talked about for this storm. Guys, it's on now, South Florida, Cuba. Get ready. Let's look at some images and a couple of other graphics. And all of this information came out 21 minutes ago. The graph you just saw in this one, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Canadian model, one of our more reliable ones. Now show this thing moving west, taking a dip south, and then curving back into this area. Now, we don't know exactly where it's going to take the northern turn. It's going to depend on where it catches, or where that high pressure system catches it. But if you've got a Cat 4 setting here, where you're showing the end of the run of the CMC model here, then that storm is going to affect South Florida and maybe Central Florida before it's all said and done. That's just on this current path. So far, everything is drifting to the left or westward. Guys, and in the last video on Melissa, we were talking about HAARP. We were talking about that blocking high pressure zone. Has Mother Nature had enough of that? They let it get really hot. And their energy has a limit, but the solar energy that really runs the earth and its weather does not have a limit. And so this is what we have now. Let's look at the infrared. You'll see how powerful it is becoming. And look at this. Look how solid that black mass is in the center. It's not breaking apart. And I think this is what has woken up the National Hurricane Center to saying, wait a minute, guys, this thing is not moving the way it's supposed to move, the way we're trying to move it, and it's taking over itself. Imagine going from 50 miles per hour, then a couple of days, we're going into a Cat 4 possibly hurricane right here in the Caribbean near the end of hurricane season. Check it out. Again, they have blocked many, and I honestly believe they have. We read the report about the operation starting this year, and I think it's been going on for quite a while, but being in complete control. And one after the other, storms just turned around mid-cycle. Well, we talked about this also. You can only fool with nature for so long, and it's going to take over. And maybe this is retribution. And so, guys, in other words, not the type you would normally see, but a retribution by nature itself of man trying to force it from doing its job and keeping the planet cooler and balanced. But here we go. Let's change this over just a little. Notice the very top of the storms. That's the blackest part right there. And you've got them moving, already starting to develop in the northwest quadrant. Look at that. This is a very powerful tropical storm. It's not going to remain that long or that rank very much longer. We may have a Cat 1 before we know it, maybe into tonight, moving faster. You got very little time to prepare. You see the Dominican Republic, you see Cuba, and you see the northern tips of the Bahamas, guys, and Florida's right on the other side. You're going to have to start preparing right now. When people start realizing what's coming at them, you're going to start seeing gas lines, food lines, battery, flashlights, generator fuel, the whole 9 yards, right? Water. So start preparing now for the storm. Guys, in looking at the Northern Hemisphere, this one has been maybe the best day of the year so far. We had some great spring days. It's kind of hard to beat those. But today it was very cold when we woke up. never really got warm, just cool, chill. Huskies wanted to play outside most of the day, things like that. And that's what we're seeing through the southeast. But you guys up in the north section, north central, and northeast, you've got winter warnings, frost warnings all on top of you. Now, this storm is going to come into this area, Melissa, and maybe take some warmer air out, but it's too late for this area of the northeast as far as starting a pretty bad winter storm if we're not careful. So you guys up there, take a very close look at this. Keep up with your local weather. You know, you can see the storm is not as moist as some of this area is, but once it starts getting, and it's really starting to pick up moisture off the Atlantic already, but the closer this spin gets to the water, the more moisture is going to pick up. So northeast, be careful. Again, all of this is frost and freeze warnings already, so it's, you know, it's going to be cold. And again, here's Melissa. It is the dominant factor on this side of the planet in the northern hemisphere, excuse me. Check that out. And it's got moisture that it can pick up coming right here into its path. This thing is going to may go down in a record book, guys, because of how late it is in the season and the way it snuck up on everyone. Plus, again, I think there's a battle now between the weather controllers and nature itself. Now, looking at the National Hurricane Center's map, it's a little different from Fox's. It's a little easier to read. It's not quite as jumbled in the days. What we're seeing here, again, here's the current location, 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It's going to move northwest, and as it makes a turn, it's going to become a Category 1 into a 2, and then right in here, this is Sunday now. It's easier to see. Jamaica, you are in tropical storm warnings already, and you've got tropical storm watches out. All of this southern section of Haiti right there. Anyway, 2 p.m. Sunday, Cat 3, Cat 4 by 2 p.m. Monday. We don't know where it's going from this part. The models have not caught up, guys, with this update. You understand what I'm saying? You look at the models, and they're hardly showing anything right now. But later tonight, I'm sure we'll get some updates on that. And if not, it will be first thing in the morning. But again, this is a game changer. Prepare now. This is going to be a major storm.